kick, depending upon where you're at and how bad the offense is. Could be more kicks, but for the most part, this is the majority of the game, right? So if we get this part right, we know this pretty well, then we can kind of figure out the rest. Part one. Select fundamentals. So as we all know, if you do not know the definitions and you do not know the fundamentals, then it doesn't matter how good your mechanics are. It doesn't matter how good your uniform looks. Without those basics, you're not going to know the rules. Flip side of that is, if you know your fundamentals and you know your definitions, you can kind of figure out 95% of the game, right? There's just those two. And then hopefully someone on the crew knows the other 5% of the rules to get you through it, right? Okay, so that's kind of the way it works. No series can ever start on a down other than first. Right? So that is a true of all truism, right? So it doesn't matter if you have an illegal forward pass after change possession. It doesn't matter if you're illegal forward handing. Illegal. You cannot have a series start on any down other than first, right? So if you ever start a new series and it's second down, fix the box and fix yourself. A dead ball may become live only because of a legal snap or free kick, right? So if you don't have a legal snap, if you don't have a legal free kick, then the ball cannot become live. A player in possession of a live ball is a runner. Right? So if I have the ball, I'm a runner, which differentiates me from everybody else, right? That makes me different. A live ball is always in possession of a team. So the ball does not have to necessarily be in possession of a player, but it's going to be in possession of a team. So if crazy things happen, you can always go back to that one, right? And always reset ourselves. A player who's eligible at the start of the down remains eligible throughout the down. Handed ball is not a pass. So there's some key fundamentals that we need to know for scrimmage plays. Pre-snap. Player designations. So a back is any player who has no part of his body breaking the plane of an imaginary line drawn parallel to the line of scrimmage to the waist of the nearest teammate who is legally on the line, except for one player who's the quarterback for underhand snap, right? So the offense, you're either a back or a lineman. If you're not one of those two, then you're wrong. Okay? Pretty simple, right? All right. You're either a lineman or a back, all right? A passer is a player who throws a legal forward pass. He continues to be a said passer until the legal forward pass ends or until he moves to participate in the play. So is the quarterback the passer? No, he's not. He's got to throw a pass, right? So he's not protected. He's not protected until he throws a legal forward pass. All right. So that is on Friday nights, they got to throw the ball. All right. A runner is a player who's in possession of a live ball or simulating possession of a live ball. Okay. So I either have it, or if you fake it to me and I'm pretending to have it, then I'm considered a runner for those couple of seconds until everybody can realize, oh yeah, he doesn't have the ball. All right. A lineman is any A player who's facing his opponent's goal line with the line of his shoulders approximately parallel thereto, and head or foot breaking an imaginary plane drawn parallel to the line of scrimmage to the waist of the snapper. Okay, so who sets the line of scrimmage? The snapper. So you got to have your snapper first, and then from there you can set your linemen, and from there you can set your backs. A snapper is the player who's facing his opponent's goal line and snaps the ball. So a snapper and a lineman are defined differently. All right. The difference being the snapper snaps the ball and he sets the line of scrimmage. All right. So when we talk about a legal snap, this is going to become important, right? Because there's certain things that the snapper that there's certain things that can happen during a snap where it can hit the snapper, but not a lineman. And those are different. Okay. In scrimmage kick formation, the snapper remains a snapper until he's had a reasonable opportunity to regain his balance and protect himself, or until he blocks or moves otherwise to participate in the play. Okay, so again, the snapper is protected by formation, right? Not by action after the snap, but he's protected by the formation. The neutral zone is a space between two free kick lines during a free kick down, and it's always how many yards? 10 yards. And between two scrimmage lines during a scrimmage down, and the width of the neutral zone is the football. Yep. For a free kick down, the neutral zone is 10 yards, and for a scrimmage down, it's the length of the football. And when is the neutral zone established? When the ball is ready for play. Okay. Now, after most scrimmage plays, that's when ball spotted by an official, he starts to step away to the position, ball is ready for play, right? The neutral zone may be expanded following the snap up to a maximum of 2 yards behind the defensive line of scrimmage, inside the boundary lines during any scrimmage down. If a scrimmage kick occurs, the neutral zone shall not be expanded into the end zone. Okay? So, if it's a running play or a passing play, can it be expanded into the end zone? Yes. But if a scrimmage kick occurs, then no. Okay? And when we think of line of scrimmage, we normally think of what? The offensive line of scrimmage, right? But remember, there's a defensive line of scrimmage, and it's just on the other side of the football. And this is important for defensive line of scrimmage, right? 2 yards. And the other thing is a player is considered to be on his defensive line of scrimmage when he's within how many yards of said line of scrimmage? 1 yard. 1 yard. So the blitzing linebacker or the blitzing safety that times it, if he's within 1 yard at the snap and the guard blocks him below the waist at the snap immediately, that's legal, right? That's legal because he has positioned himself as a defensive lineman based on where he is on the field. Scrimmage formation and numbering. So 5 players, numbers 50 through 79, and they are ineligible by number. So can 52 ever legally catch a forward pass? No. Cannot. Can he catch a backward pass? Yes, he can. Yes, he can. Can he catch a forward pass that's been touched by B? Yes, he can. Minimum 5 total on the line of scrimmage. No more than 4 backs. All right. So you got 2 numbers there, right? 5, 50 through 79, and no more than 4 backs. Okay. And this is a foul that's simultaneously with a snap. Why is that? Because they can fix themselves at any point up until when the ball is snapped. All right. The number 0 is a legal eligible number. 00 is not. Right. 01 is not. All right. But just the 0 in of itself is a legal number. Lineman, we mentioned this, right? So A players facing the opponent's goal line, shoulders parallel to the goal line, head or foot breaking the snapper's waist. Lineman either side of the snapper may lock legs. Other lineman foot outside, closest foot of the lineman next to them. So basically what we're saying is you can't, the guard and the snapper, they can cross their legs basically, their feet. All right. But everybody else got to be outside. All right, outside. And again, like we talked about, the snapper is here. That's his waist. So that sets the line of scrimmage. So if your head or your foot breaks that waist, you're considered what? On line of scrimmage. All right. So the tackle is 6'5". All right. His feet may be a yard and a half behind the ball, but when he bends over, his head is breaking the waist, right? That makes sense. So it looks like he's back, but he's not. Okay. The tackle is 5'6". His feet are a yard and a half back. He's not going to get there, right? You know, unless he's laying on the ground, he's not going to get there. Okay. So Don't look at their feet. Look at their head. Look at their head. Wing officials. What do we do? What do we tell the receivers when they come out there? We put our foot down and we point, right? What are we telling them? Line of scrimmage. Line of scrimmage. Are we telling them to move up and move back? No, we're just telling them where to go. Okay. All right. Do we care if they point? I'm pointing back. It doesn't matter where you point, right? But it matters where your foot or your head is. Okay. Foot or your head. Yeah. So let's go back to the beginning of this one. Oh. All right. Okay. So what did we talk about here, right? We got one, so clearly back, right? We agree. These two, this one's clearly back. This one's clearly back. He's up. So is that guy's head breaking the snapper's waist? No, probably not, right? I know we're at an angle. I understand that. But that's what we're looking for, right? That's so you're looking down the line. Is that me? You're looking down the line. You should not have space between his waist, not his butt, right? Not where the butt is. It's where the waist is, and his head or foot. And they still couldn't block him. So why do they do that? Why do the tackles get so deep? What are they trying to do? They don't get beat around the edge. They are gaining an advantage, right? So you got to move them up. You got to move them up. So yeah, he's nowhere close, right? Here's the waist. This is his head. All right. He's borderline at best. Yeah. Okay. There's another one. All right. So we know he's back, right? We know he's back. We know he's back. They're in like for years I remember like the movie, the Anaheim Flying Ducks or whatever it was. They're in the V formation, right? Yeah, it works in hockey, but they're not breaking weights, right? Okay. You got to move them up. You got to move them up. Yeah. Yeah. That's not. All right. Back positioning. So we talked about what alignment is, right? So what's a back? So a players with no part of their body breaking the waist of the nearest lineman. So to be a back, you can't do what? Not the snapper. It's the nearest lineman to you, right? So you've got to be clearly back. One player is exempt, and that's the player to receive the hand-to-hand snap. He doesn't actually have to receive said hand-to-hand snap, and no more than 4 backs. Okay, so there's a no man's land, right, where you can't be. Okay, you can't be. Here's the nearest waist, lineman's waist. Here's the snapper's waist. This is what we call no man's land. All right, to be a back, you can't be here. Right, you can't be here. You got to be back here. All right. So it's not based on him. It's based on this player. Or if we're on this side of the formation, it would be based on this player who's closer. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is that a problem? Is he supposed to be there? No. We all know that, but he doesn't know that. So, and you have to, and wing officials, you have to count every single time, right? And every time they shift, you have to do what? Count again. And you have to count independently of your partner. All right. There should be ideally 2 flags, but at least 1. But before we enforce it, what am I going to do? I'm going to call in Lewis. Now, Lewis, how many did you have? Keith, how many did you had the flags? I guess you had 5, I'm assuming. So how many, and then talk about it, you know? And if Lewis says, oh, no, 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 he was actually on, and Keith goes, well, that was my 5th guy on his side, but he's telling me he's on, we're going to pick it up, right? But we can't wait till after the play and go, wait a minute, how many did you have on, right? So if you think you got 5, drop the flag, but before you enforce it, talk about it and make sure. Man, I don't know what's happening. Let's play. All right. So we got some sort of weird like try formation, right? Okay, at the state finals. We got a weird try formation, right? So here's the snapper. This is his waist. He's not breaking it. He's not breaking it. He's not breaking it. He's not. He's not. Or any of these guys. No. No flag. No flag. All right. It's because you have to count every single time. Numbering exception. So now we talked about numbering, but now there's exceptions. First, second, third down. So the snapper any number may replace the snapper. Must be between the ends. And they have to be in what type of formation? Scrimmage kick. All right. So number 1 is your snapper. All right. He's the only kid that can snap it. None of the big kids can snap it. So he's your snapper for kicks. And as a referee, I want the best snapper on the field. So I don't care what number he is. I want him to be on the field. So first, second, and third down, he can be replaced. All right, he can become one of those 5 50 through 79s. Okay. But he has to be between the ends. And why is that? Because he's an exception, right? He's replacing an ineligible player number. So you don't want to allow them to gain an advantage by doing something to make that kid eligible. All right. Fourth down. Any of the 50 through 79 players can be replaced. So you can take off all 5 of them and have 5 players, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They must be between the ends. And then once the snapper puts his hands on the ball, players in formation under the numbering exception are ineligible receivers by position and remain ineligible so. So you can no longer shift in such a way to make that player eligible. So those 5 that are between the ends that are replacing those 50 through 79, once the snapper puts his hands on the ball, then they become ineligible by position, i.e. they are replacing one of those 50 through 79. Is that clear? And again, this is a foul simultaneously with the snap. All right, so is this scrimmage kick formation? No. Why not? Because his knee's not on the ground, right? So what is scrimmage kick formation for a field goal or kick try? It's a player in a position to be a holder, about 7 yards deep, right? With his knee on the ground, and another player no more than 3 yards in position to kick the ball. So they can do this, and if they have 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, this is legal, right? This is legal. Okay. He's obviously not a 50 through 79 guy. His butt's too small, right? He's a little guy. But they got 5 of the big guys. So this is, even though this is legal, is he protected? No. No. Is the umpire going to know that? No. The referee has to know that. So if they snap it and the umpire throws a flag for roughing the snap, the referee has to go, no, they were not in scrimmage kick formation. There is no foul. Okay. All righty. So 14-13, close game, thick grass, no lines. You don't think I'll get footage? I'll get footage of these games. Don't worry, guys.
Is that this game?
Why were you at the game? Were you working the game? No. Oh, okay. All right. So what is this called? This is called a water bucket, right? Okay. If they snap it out of here, how many players did they have to have numbered 50 through 79 on the line of scrimmage? 5, right? There's no exception here, right? Because they're not in a scrimmage kick formation. 1, 2, 3, 4. He's number 24. Okay, so he's not a one. So how many do they have? 4. So what do they do? All right. So they shifted to what looks like scrimmage kick formation, but what's the other requirement? Holder has to have his knee down, right? It's a great play, but what's the problem? It was illegal formation because he did not have his knee on the ground. Because if he had had his knee on the ground and he had flipped it, it would have been dead. It would have been dead. Yeah. Not on the ground. They're not in scrimmage kick formation. Numbering exception does not apply. They only had 4 numbered 50 through 79. And all right, so who normally keeps track of the numbering? Umpire. But when you, as a referee, when you see he's not in scrimmage kick formation, what do you have to do? You got to look at the numbers. You got to count your numbers. You got to be like, no, wait, umpires do what? They do what now? Oh God, what are they doing? You got to count them. You got to count them.
We're not going to see if he's leaking on the ground.
Because you're not going to know. The umpire's not going to know. The umpire's not going to know. All right. So punt. So what is scrimmage kick formation for punts? It's a player 10 yards. If you're at 1A, 8 yards. Who's in position to catch the snap, right? And no other player in the way. So, yeah. All right. So, is this scrimmage kick formation? No. So, how many in high school? How many players have to be numbered 50 through 79 on line scrimmage? 5. So, again, if you're the referee and you see this, you got to do what? Got to count them. You got to count them. Okay, so now we got another weird. So when you see them do something weird in a shifting formation, right? That's when your antenna's got to go up, right? All right, so we've got, he's not in the way. He's still on the side, right? So we're still good scrimmage kick formation wise, right? He is how many yards back? He's 8, He's a 1A game. 1A game. We'll count this, all right? And then they throw a pass. So what does the crew have to know? Number 14 catches it. Great. We got a good number, right? Good number. Where did he come from? Where was he lined up at? Where was he lined up at? And it's okay to have a conversation here, right? That one's over with. All right. Somebody's getting a new series because if he's not eligible, it's illegal touching, which is a loss of down. So have a conversation. Where did he come from? Was he eligible or not? Was he eligible? All right. And it's not just the umpire that has to know this. The wings should know who their eligibles are too. All right. It's harder in punt formation, right? It's harder, but you should have an idea. And if nobody knows, then just let it go. And I will tell you on Monday. Okay. If somebody says he was not eligible, then put the flag down. All right. Are we? I guess we're in time for our first Kahoot, I think. Yep, we are. Yep. All right, so we'll switch it over. There we go. All right. Y'all ready? Everybody scanned in, ready to go? Pin is 106079. All right, y'all ready? All right, quiz. A runner's forward progress ends when? Y'all got 30 seconds. I don't want to hear about it. Zero seven nine. Ugh. Okay. All right. So when does a runner's forward progress end? All right. When the runner is no longer moving towards the opponent's goal line. When the runner is moving toward their own goal line. No, it's all about what? The ball. The ball, right? So a runner possessed ball is no longer moving toward the opponent's goal line. A runner possessed ball is moving perpendicular to the sideline. So it's not the player that determines forward progress, it's the ball. A foul either occurs during a live ball or dead period. Is that? Yeah. All right. So the ball is either what? Live or dead, right? So the foul can only be during a live ball or a dead ball. A7 and B7 forcefully shove each other after the play. Each player is guilty of a personal foul, or each player is guilty of unsportsmanlike foul. Stop watching weekend football. Forcibly shove, right? That's the key, right? Contact. Contact. In high school, this is a personal foul. Do not watch what they do on the weekends. True or false? All non-player and player unsportsmanlike fouls are non-contact fouls. What is the exception to this one? Yep. Sidelines, right? Sidelines. Yep. Is the exception. Yep. Because it's charged to the head coach. It's correct. It's enforced as a non-player. Yep. Yep. It's the exception. All right. Last one for this period. All the following are true for PSK fouls except I got 30 seconds. The definition of a PSK foul. All these are true except. All right, so the ball has to accept. Does the ball have to remain beyond the expanded neutral zone? No. This is a cross, right? All right. And does the foul has to occur where? Beyond the expanded neutral zone. Okay. So fouls during a punt or unsuccessful field goal, right? Post scrimmage kick. Fouls occurs beyond the expanded neutral zone, and K not awarded a new series, and the foul occurs prior to the kick in. So those are all true, but the two that are not is the ball crossed and remaining, and then a foul occurs beyond the neutral zone. Those were a little trickier, I know. All righty. Continuing on. What happened here? Share. There we go. All right. Snapper. So we talked about line member snapper. So what's the snapper, right? His hands may be beyond the foremost point of the ball. He's the only player that can have any part of his hands beyond the foremost point of the ball. His feet and head must be behind the neutral zone. Okay. He may lift the ball, but it must maintain contact with the ground, right? So he can't do what? Pick it up and move it to a new spot, right? Which they will do that sometimes. He can't rotate it end over end. He's got to keep the ball at a 90-degree angle, and he can't change the location. So what do they like to do on like 3rd and 1, 4th and 1?
They push it forward.
They like to push it, right? And they like to push it forward. You can't let them do that, right? Because that's doing what? Changing the position of the ball. Yeah. All right. So we're talking about encroachment, and we normally think B, right? All right. So if you're this wing official and you can't see the ball because you have A players in the way and your positioning is correct, then we have what? Encroachment on who? On A, on all of them. Yes, that's right. Okay. So encroachment goes both ways, right? It goes both ways. And in this case, are you going to give them a second to fix themselves?
No.
No, because they can't, right? He can, but the other ones can't, right? Yeah, it'd be a false start. Yeah. So no, there's no fixing of themselves on this one. All right. Okay. Snapper restrictions. So after the ball is ready for play, he cannot remove both hands from the ball. Can he remove one? Yes.
Yes.
Make any movement simulating the snap. Clearly pause before the snap. Following adjustment, lift or move the ball other than a legal snap. Okay. And a snap infraction is a dead ball foul, right? So remember, going back to the fundamental, you cannot start a live ball period cannot start with anything other than a legal snap. So if you have an illegal snap, it's still dead. All right, so watch the snapper. You know what? Yep, I like it there better. Yeah. So we can't do that, right? All right, so we got to kill that. Okay, and so you can't go to sleep while they're getting lined up, right? We have to stay focused. Snap criteria. All right, so we talked about the snapper, but now what does a snap mean? So the snap begins when the ball is first moved. That's when it starts. It must be a quick, continuous backward motion. Immediately leaves the snapper hands. Touches the back or ground prior to an A lineman. Excludes ball adjustment. Not meeting the criteria equals an illegal snap equals a dead ball foul. Okay. All right. There'll be a better close up here. It'll get in focus here in a second. So we got snappers. He's got his hand on the ball. We're happy. He's kind of doing his little adjustment. No issues. Uh-oh. What? Wait a minute. And he comes back. Yep, that's a problem, right? That's what? That's a legal snap. All right. So that is a dead ball foul. Now look at this one. Okay. I was like, what happened? No short again. I was like, what? Now, well, what did he do? He went to snap it, and it went backwards, right? And it immediately left his hand, and it touched the ground before a lineman touched it, right? So what was illegal about that snap?
Wasn't.
That wasn't. It's the first. Let's go back to touches the back or ground prior to an A lineman. But we've already established that the snapper is defined differently than a lineman. So if the snap hits the snapper, or if he's the first to touch it, is that an illegal snap? No, it's not. It's not. It's just it's a bad snap, but the ball remains live, right?
Explain the saying, touches the back on the ground. Yes. Before, another lineman touches it.
Right. So he
He snaps it.
and that hit the ground. Yeah.
When they touch it.
That's we don't have anything. Yeah. We're good. We're good.
Say that because he's not defined as a lineman.
But yeah, so we'll see another one in a second where it's even more pronounced. So a snap is a legal act of passing or handing the ball backward from its position on the ground. The snap begins when the snapper first moves the ball legally other than an adjustment. In a snap, the snap must be quick, continuous backward motion of the ball during which the ball immediately leaves the hands, touches the back or ground before it touches an A lineman. The snap ends when the ball touches the ground or any player. So that's the entire duration of the snap, beginning to the end. So let's watch this one. Yep. Huh? Yes. That's when the snap ends, yes.
It already took the ground.
Right.
So the snap's over.
So the snap's over. Yeah. Yeah.
Didn't touch no player. He's a player.
Yeah. So that was a legal snap. That's what we're saying. That was not a dead ball. That was they should have let that go. Yeah, they should have let that go.
If it was a high school.
Yeah, I don't know what the college rule is. I don't care what the college rule is. But yeah. So if that was in a high school, that was legal.
No different than a shotgun snap.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Because they're the quarterback hit. No difference.
So here's one.
Is that legal for a golf game? No. That's a foul. That's a foul.
Yeah. All right. So what do we get? What do we have here? Let's see what a replay.
Did he knock it out of his hand before he snapped?
Let's see. So they killed it. So it hit the ground first, right? Hit the ground. So that's legal on Friday nights, right? You know, that is legal. Here's another one. or they're talking. So he snaps it, hits him in the butt. That is a legal play. Yeah. That ball is live. Right. Because he's not considered like another lineman, right? He's different. He's different. So that ball remains live. As an inadvertent whistle. Yes. Which you're going to try to cover up with a flag. But by rule, that is a legal. So don't think that every bad snap is an illegal snap. Sometimes a bad snap is just a bad snap, but the ball remains live. So make sure you see what happened. What in the world happened here? It doesn't make any sense. Let's watch this again. As you can tell by the freeze frame, what do we actually have here? We got a false start, right? Watch where this snap goes. Watch this player right here. So he's pulling, and he commits a false start, and the ball hits him first. Now, what is that? That's a legal snap because you didn't call a false start. Yeah, it's a false start that you missed, and then you get bailed by the legal snap. But it hit him first. It hit another lineman before it hit the ground or back. Thus, that is dead. Okay, all right. But this is a false start, so just call it a false start, and you're good to go. So false starts. So after the ball is ready for play, only applies to A players. No player will shift or feign charge, simulating action at the snap. An act clearly intended to cause B to encroach. And when do we see that? Fourth, third and short, fourth and short, right? A lineman positioned between the snapper and the end may moves hands or makes any quick movements after placing his hands on or near the ground. And a false start is a dead ball. Watch the left tackle. I can't do that, right? That's a false start, right? Yeah. It doesn't matter if they reacted. No, it doesn't matter. Don't get in that habit. It's a bad habit, right? Because you're going to miss stuff if you wait on reactions. Y'all see the top of the screen? I watch the top of the screen here. So it's not just linemen, right? This can apply to backs as well. Okay. Watch the top of the screen. Yeah, that's a false start, right? You're stimulating action at the snap. That's a false start. It's a dead ball foul. I think they call it actually something else, but yeah. Or they call it illegal. I don't know what they called, but it's a dead ball foul. Yeah, that's not illegal motion, not a legal shift. That's a dead ball. That's stimulating action at the snap. All right, we'll go back and say this again. Yeah.
What was that?
That's not illegal motion. That is a false start. Yes. There's another one. Watch the back. These are very annoying as a referee. Now, what do you? He lost his balance. He fell forward, right? Just make that a false start. He stimulated action, right? He got the snap count. You'll see an end zone view here. We got an end zone view of this one, I think, coming up. You'd have to ask them that. That's why we get these clips. Yeah. We appreciate them not calling flag. Yeah, yeah. But number 23. Yeah, that's a false start, right? That is a false start. That's a false start, right? What's he doing? He's simulating the snap. And don't rely on the defense to don't wait till well they didn't react. I'm not gonna call it. Because if you keep doing that, then you're gonna miss something really important. Right? But you can't do that. It's simulating action at the snap. All right, so watch this. So this player here, is he a back? Is he breaking the waist of the snapper?
Oh.
Is he breaking the waist of the nearest teammate? So he's in what? No man's land. So he's not clearly a back, right? And he's not on the end of the line. So can he go in motion? He cannot. If he was a back, he could. Yeah. All right. So, yeah. So he's in that no man's land. He's got his hand on the ground. He gets up. You know, that he's got to make that a false start. Just make that a dead ball foul. It's his fault for not knowing how to line up and just move on. Now, watch. I think it's down here, I think. See him? Yeah, he was. Watch the slot receiver here. That one. Yeah. Right? That's a false start, right? Yeah. But not every shift is a false start, right? If they're controlled and they're not doing anything similar action at the snap, and it's, you know, third and a lot, then they're not trying to encroach, not trying to cause B to encroach, then these guys can shift, right? They can shift and they can do so legally. And if he jumps, well, then that's his fault, right? So I don't want you to think that that they're not simulating anything, right? They're just switching sides of the line of scrimmage. And then he jumps in the neutral zone, so that's a foul on B. But here, we're 4th and 1. So we have to be paying attention for what? For them to do something shift-wise to cause B to encroach. So you gotta get done talking first. I mean, they're clearly doing what? Trying to draw. Yeah, so that is a false start. That is a false start. They can't do that. There's nothing natural about that, right? There's nothing natural about that. Yeah. Bobby Mack. All right, so we were 4th and short, right? Third and short. So we gotta pay attention to this, right? Why would they do that? Right? What are they trying to do? Trying to draw them off sides. Trying to draw them off sides. And does it matter what the coach tells you in the pregame? You just say, Coach, we gotta see it, right? We'll call it when we see it. You know? And we get a discussion. We get a discussion. Still discussing. Yeah, backed him up. So he did the right thing. This was a false start. Yeah. I mean, there was only one purpose for that, right? One purpose. Now we're 4th and about 7. So what do we think about that one? 4th and 7. But did that look like a normal shift? I looked like simulating the start of the snap, right? Yeah, they reacted to the defense. Yeah, so that's a false start. This applies to the kickers too, right? Kicker goes forward before he's supposed to. He's simulating the start of the snap, right? That's a false start. All right. This kicker forgot the snap count. All right. So let me set this one up. First of all, back judges. They're going to be in punt formation. Is this where the back judge is going to be? Where's the back judge should be? Wide side of the field. All right. Good. All right. Okay. So the snapper has to have what? What does the snapper need to do to set the line of scrimmage? His hand on the ball. So if his hands are not on the ball, do we have the neutral zone established? No. So B can't do what when the ball is ready for play? They can't call what defensive signals, and they can't like touch the ball or something like that, right? Yeah. But in terms of encroachment, you can't have it until the snapper has his hands on the ball. So if I were to tell you that the snapper never places his hands on the ball, and then all this happens, what do we have? I mean, sportsmanlike, maybe, you know. But what you don't have is anything on B, right? It's 4th and 5 or 4. You don't have anything on B. All right. You don't have a false start because you delay a game. Yeah. You delay a game, maybe that might work. Maybe, but you don't have anything. Now his hand is near the ball. But there's nothing in the rule book about his hand being near the ball, right? His hand has to be on the ball. It has to be on the ball. So, yeah, that's one of those, huh?
If you don't have anything and that happened, but your clock runs out, your play clock.
Then you have delay a game. Delay a game. You hope the play clock guy just keeps it running, right? Or you keep it on the field, But yeah, there's nothing there.
Did they throw a flag and stop?
They threw a flag. I can't remember what they called. So illegal shift versus illegal motion. So illegal shift. Not all A players are set before the snap. 2 or more players are moving at the time of the snap. A2 starts in motion prior to A1 becoming set or reset. Okay. 2 players, right? Moving around. Illegal motion. A player moving forward toward the line of scrimmage at the time of snap. Now, to be guilty of illegal motion, you have to be what for the snap? In motion, right? So those false starts that we saw with the receivers were like jumping early, right? They're standing still and they jump forward. They're not in motion. So that can't be an illegal motion foul, right? Because they're not already in motion. They're simulating the start of the snap. So illegal shift, illegal motion, are these live ball or dead ball fouls? Live ball fouls. So that's why it's important to know the difference. So they hurry up and snap the ball. But what has to happen before you can do that? All right. So this guy's being lazy. He doesn't get set. We got to call it, right? You just got to call that. All right. It's just a pre-snap thing that becomes a foul at the snap that we have to call. There's no I can't cover for that if that gets sent to me. All right, I got two players moving, right? Is that a live ball or dead ball? All right, yep, that's a live ball. All right, all right. For simulating a snap, yeah, you could, yeah, you could. But you know that's their backs, so yeah, you have an option there. Yeah. All right, where's the two guys in motion, right? All right, and we still can't get the right block. All right, but you got two guys in motion, right? That's what your shift. All right, we gotta get both fouls, not just the illegal, not just the block. Gotta get both fouls. With his hat on. Block in the back did not call the illegal shift. But gotta get both. So this is one where, so watch what he did. Watch the guy in motion. So the ball snapped. He's doing what? He's going forward. Going forward. Yep. You mistimed it. Oh boy. Oh boy. So, couple of things here, right? Pre-snap. They're not in scrimmage kick formation. So why is he not already set? Where did he go? Why is he running to his side, right? So either the referee put it in ready for play before they were done talking about whatever they were talking about, or he was never in the right spot to begin with because the back judge is under this goalpost. So why? And he's the linesman. So what is he doing?
He thought he was the lineman.
So this play is doomed to fail from the start, right?
Yeah.
Because we're not ready. We're not ready. So referees, make sure you guys are ready. So we're not ready. And then the snappers obviously is not ready. They're shifting, and then he snaps it, and there's no flag thrown. And then there's a block below the waist. It's all sorts of stuff, right? I mean, there's got to be something, right? Got to be something there. All right, this is another one. Or again, so they gain 10 yards, but let's go back and watch the beginning of this play. And watch the receivers at the top of the screen. He never gets set. He never gets set. And so they gain, 10, 12 yards. Okay, we think, well, he's not set, but we can ignore it. We can't ignore it. He's got to get it. And this is a legal shift because he was never set. Oh, no, these are just various games. Yeah, various games. All right, the man in motion, right? So who does he belong to? So when the man starts in motion, so he's on this side, and he goes in motion. Who does he belong to until the ball is snapped or he gets reset? That line judge, right? Yeah. Yeah, he belongs to him until he's either the ball is snapped or he resets. So who has to call this illegal motion? At a minimum, the line judge, right? Because it's your responsibility. But the guy looking with no other receivers, he can't help. You can't help with that, right? You can't help. He has nothing else over there, Oh, time again. You ready again?
Will it start all over again?
Nope.
It says connection.
What? Very festive. While not a foul, first touching by K produces similar results as penalties. Similar. I was in tricky mood when I did these questions. All right. So this is true, right? First touching is not a foul, but it's similar results, right? As penalties. Yeah. True or false? When the ball is possessed following every fair catch signal, the down ends and the result is a fair catch. All right, so the ball is dead, right? After every fair catch signal, but it's not always a fair catch. Not always a fair catch. And why is that important? Why is a fair catch important? Because they have what? Options, right? They got ball options, they got options to kick, they got all sorts of things, right? Yeah. That was favorite. A kick ends when?
Wait, one has two choices.
Yeah. There's only two choices. Yeah. There's two choices.
I'm like, what?
A kick ends when R gains possession. A kick ends when K gains possession. Both of them. Both of them. More.
was like,
It literally said multiple stuff.
It sure did. True or false? The down ends when all kicks, excluding scoring attempts, breaks R's goal line. Oh, boy. So the down ends when all kicks breaks R's goal line, right? Excluding scrimmage kicks. So if you kick a field goal, does the down end as soon as the ball crosses R's goal line? You still be good, right? Down hasn't ended. If it hits an R player in the end zone and caroms through the uprights, it's what? It's good. It's good. So the down is not ended. If it hits the umpire in the end zone and it caroms through, it's good. So it hasn't ended, right? Yeah. Oh, it's hit. Yeah. These are to prepare you for what's going to happen in about 7 weeks. All right. This is true or false? All fair catches occur beyond the neutral zone. Boy, IR's heads are smoking already on this one too, huh? All fair catches occur beyond the neutral zone. See, it was better when there was not enough time to answer these questions, right? Then you're going to blame me for that one, right? False, right? Because a fair catch during a free kick down can occur where? In or beyond the neutral zone. A fair catch during a scrimmage down has to occur beyond. All right. All righty.
I'm standing right here.
I don't know. Some of those were a little difficult. Okay, down. So a down is action which starts with a legal snap, in this case, because we're talking about scrimmage plays, right? A loss of down is the right to replay a down. And a down ends when the ball next becomes dead. All right, so the ball is what? Either alive or dead, right? Okay. Line to gain. When is it established? After the ready for play, when a new series is awarded. All fouls committed prior to the ready shall be administered before the line to gain is established. New series always starts on first down. And does the line to gain start on the front point, back point, or middle of the football? The front point, right? All right, the front point. So if it's fourth down, it's an incomplete pass. What do we need to do with the chains? Got to move the chain, not the ball, right? We're not moving the ball, moving the chains. All right. Is it always 10 yards, the line to gain? Could be goal line, right? It could be goal line. It could be goal line. All right. So, linesman. Chain crew tells you they've been doing it for 50 years. All right. Leather helmets and all. They were still doing the box. Are you going to talk with them before the game? Yes. And this is why. 1st and 10. Rambling around. Does he ever get outside the lateral edge of the free blocking zone? No. Does he ever get as an eligible receiver in the area? No. All right. He's already flipped it to 2. So what do you think is going to happen to the referee when he gets done talking about all this stuff and looks over at the box? He's going to flip it to 3. All because this guy got overly excited. So let's talk about it. They're going to talk about it because I try not to do it, but how many times the down ends, I've already flipped my down indicator. Already flipped it. And I try not to do it, but it just happens. All right. And so the box is the backup. So it throws the flag late because they talked about it, right? It's good mechanics there. All right. It's a little dramatic, but he did it. Intentional grounding. So you're going to go 5 yards from the spot of the foul, right? And he said 3rd down. And why did he say 3rd down? Because he looked at the box. Because he looked at the box. Yep. Yep. And so we got to talk with these guys every time, right? Every single time. All right. 3rd and 3. 3rd and 3. Oh no. We have a forward fumble. Out of bounds. Well, now we're 4th and 1.
How do we go from 4th 1?
Because the chains moved. The chains moved on me. They moved on, and we didn't know where they were at. And we should have stopped and reset based on the clip, but didn't know where the clip was at. All right, so.
Get her back to us by any chance? Have an idea what's wrong?
No.
Nobody.
No. So yeah, so where's the fumble at? So we get a forward fumble out of bounds. So we're gonna go back to the spot.
Yeah.
So we got the 29. Yeah. And we were at, mistake, we're supposed to be at the 23 after we get done with this excitement. Now we're at the 28 with the front stake. Yeah. Yep. Didn't know. All right. So we're 4th and 1, right? How many we got in the backfield? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 7, 8, Do not assume that R is going to tack it on. They can do what? They can replay the down. And if they choose to replace that down, we need to know what? Previous spot. And you got to know where the chains are. So we went from 4th and 1 to 4th and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. Just a yard off. Not as bad as the other one. Not that bad. But yeah. So yeah. So talk to your chain crew, right? Tell them not to move until you tell them to move. And in the mechanics manual, it actually tells you how to do this. There's a whole section in there, 6.4. If you have not seen it, it's instructing the chain crew. All right. Awarding a new series. So after 1st, 2nd, and 3rd down, a new series if a line and gain is made during the down. A new series if B commits a live ball foul with automatic 1st down penalty. New series if B commits a live ball or dead ball, non-player, unsportsmanlike foul, and enforcement reaches the line to gain, right? So 1st, 2nd, 3rd down, easy, right? At the end of the time you get done with whatever you have to do, if before the ball is ready for play for the next down, if you're past the line to gain, 1st down. After 4th down, new series if the line to gain is made during the down. New series if B commits a live ball foul with automatic 1st down. New series if B commits a live ball foul and enforcement reaches the line to gain. So what's taken out? On 4th down, dead ball, non-player, unsportsmanlike fouls are excluded after A after any down and by B after 4th down. Okay? So if we have 4th down, they get a big stop and, they taunt somebody, they still get the ball, right? If A reaches the line to gain, and then after the play they decide to go off and hit somebody, they still get a new series, right? And is it going to be 1st and 25 or is it going to be 1st and 10? 1st and 10 after you back them up, assuming the ball is not ready to play, right? So on 4th down, A is stopped short of the line to gain. At A is 35. B 25 commits an unsportsmanlike penalty. Who will next put the ball in play? What would the new series line to gain distance be? B. Yep. 1st and 10. 1st and 10 for A, and the ball is marked ready for play. A 45 commits an unsportsmanlike foul. What would the line to gain be now? 1st 25, right? Because the ball is marked ready for play. Yep. Just like we normally do. Second and 6. All right. We got a good wind here. Kind of get a wave. Referee never really goes and looks. Nobody's these guys are standing still. He's still waving them on. There we go. So how can we improve that, right? Referee's got to go look. All right. If the line judge knows he's there, stop the clock. A line judge, stop the clock. Yeah, that's not. He never stops the clock. Yeah. Now we're going to stop it, and then we're going to emphatically no, that's not what we're going to do. Well, it's AC Florida clock operator, so. Mhm.
Oh, God.
All right, so we're near the line to gain. It's 4th down and short. They're gonna run a fake punt for some reason. So we gotta do what for wing officials? You stop the clock because it's 4th down, and you gotta keep coming, right? You gotta go all the way, right? All the way in. Whichever one of you, if you've got the spot, you've got to go all the way in. Stop the clock and run all the way in. You can't stop at the hash marks there, right? You got to go all the way. Okay. All right. 4th down. We got to do what after the play? It's 4th down, right? Got automatic. Stop the clock. Automatic. Okay. Automatic. Somebody's getting a 1st down. Fourth and 1. All right. So eventually we're going to kill this, right? All right. 4 progress to stop. We're killing it. Guy runs out of there. Not having that. We got a flag. Gets the 1st down. Somebody's irate about it, you know. But watch the replay here. So they got the 1st down, it's 1st and goal, right? Watch number 72. Okay, we've killed it. We're running in. Yeah, we're not gonna allow that, right? Okay, no sumo wrestling. No throwing him off the pile.
There you go.
So, what's the problem with this in high school? I don't know about college, but what's the problem with this? Is it going to be 1st and goal? It's 1st and 10, right? Because the ball wasn't ready for play. It's a dead ball foul by A after the down. They're awarded a new series after we measure. So we're going to mark the foul off. 15, 1st and 10. 1st and 10. Fourth and 1, near the line of gain. They come running in. So, all right, still not stopping the clock. Well, it's college. We would stop the clock. We stop the clock, right? And then there's a flag like way out here. What in the world? So, does it matter who commits this foul as to who's going to be awarded a new series or not? No, right? The result of the play is going to determine if A gets a new series or B gets a new series, and then the foul will be enforced. Well, live ball will be dead, but this is a dead ball. Yeah. So sometimes you have, so yeah. So he's looking, he's not sure. He points 1st down. And now we have the foul. Dead ball. Very emphatic. Very. Yeah. Yeah. Awarding a new series. Change of possession. Excludes a kick. We're almost done for the day. New series for A. A has the ball at the end of the down, right? Again, change of possession, excluding a kick. New series for A of the live ball fouls and the down replayed or penalties accepted, with the exception being clean hands. New series for B. They have the ball at the end of the down. All B live ball fouls occur after the final change of possession. All right, i.e. clean hands. So what do we mean by this? So B intercepts A's pass. During the return, B15 illegally blocks. Is B awarded a new series? Yes. They got the ball with clean hands. B intercepts A's pass. Prior to the interception, B15 holds eligible A10. Is B awarded a new series? No, not with clean hands, assuming the foul is accepted. B intercepts A's pass. After the interception, B15 holds. Runner B10 fumbles and A6 recovers. Runner A6 fumbles and B35 recovers and is down. Did B secure possession with clean hands? No. No. Final possession, right? It's final possession. So if you have multiple changes of possession, remember it's based on did that a foul occur after the final change of possession? What if B had held after B35's recovery? So this moved up, this move it. We intercept, we fumble, A recovers, A fumbles, B recovers, and then they held. Now we have clean hands. So final change of possession. So I know that's probably unlikely to happen, but just remember the key. Final change of possession. Go back to that. Scrimmage down, live ball foul. No change of possession. So if it's accepted, the down's unchanged, accept, right? So multiple exceptions, right? PSK, that's an exception to this, right? Kick catching interference is an exception. B's fouls containing an automatic first down. B foul leaves A in possession beyond the line to gain. A foul penalty enforcement leaves A in possession beyond the line to gain. So let's say it's 3rd and 2. You gain 40 yards, 30 yards downfield. You have a legal block in the back. You're still going to have a new series, right? After all that enforcement is done. A's foul penalty enforcement includes a loss of down provision. Okay. So 3rd and 20. B roughs the passer. What is the down after enforcement? First down. 3rd and 20. B commits a defensive pass interference. What is the down after enforcement? 3rd down, right? 3rd and 2. A holds. What is the down after enforcement? 3rd. A runs 10 yards past the line of gain and throws an illegal forward pass. What is the down after enforcement? But that's an illegal forward pass as a loss of down. You cannot start a new series on any down other than first. Right. Yep. All right. So 1st and 10 from the 21. Yep. They got a nice hold. So game clock, they have a holding foul. Game clock's going to start on the snap. Okay. So that was first down, right? And this is all about communication near the line of gain on this. Holding, easy, right? So we were at 1st and 10 from the 21. So one time Alabama gets called for a hold. Now that wing guys, that's what we want, right? That's what we got to get. Not the questionable ones, but that's obvious. Even the guy in the shirt back there. So we enforce it from the spot of the foul. So now it's 1st and 9 from the 20. Again, about 5. So now we got 2nd down. CBS is talking. 2nd and 5. All right. So what do we need to make sure of here? He's close to the line of gain, right? So we need to know, is it 3rd down? Or is it going to be? So they've got 3rd down on the box, right? CBS has 1st and 10. He's coming in, holding up 2. So what was correct there?
The official, whatever he said. That should be.
So now CBS has gone back to 1st and goal, but it's 3rd down. So they did not clearly communicate that it was a 1st down. All right. So let me back up just a little bit. Because they thought. So the Crew's got 1st and 10, but Chains have 3rd and 1. All right. And so if the Crew's got 1st and 10, they need to do what? They need to stop it.
Yeah.
And fix it, right? Stop it and fix it, right? If that's what the Crew has, is 1st and 10. Sam Jones. 1st and 15. We get 3 minutes. All right, so we get a nice little flag toss there by the umpire. See something in there, stopping the clock. TV's already complaining about the number of fouls in the game. By this point in the game, we should be glad Sam has a hat on. Okay, all right. By this point in this game, 5-yard face mask foul, and it was what, 1st and 15, right? So we're gonna go 5 yards from the end of the run because it was beyond the line of scrimmage, and it's going to be what down? Should be 1st down. All right. So we get it spotted. We're happy here. The linesman's got his hands up. There's 2 on the box. Now we're coming together. The linesman is still looking at the box. Sam's going to walk over all the way over here. Sam's looking at the box. Sam's coaching. Linesman looking around. Sam scratching his chin. My favorite part of this video is when he starts scratching his chin, going, yep. Still scratching. Anybody. Anybody. Yeah. No, he was beyond. He was beyond. Tackle. Yeah, it was like maybe like a yard beyond. Yeah. All right. But yeah, so Sam gets some airtime. Wind it up. Wind it up. But the box still says 2. Box still says 2. That's not correct. All right, so all righty. 1st and 10. All right, so does he get outside? No. Is there an eligible receiver in the area? No. All right, so that's what? Central grounding. And that includes what? Loss of down. And that was 1st and 10. All right, so we agree. So central grounding. Still talking. All right. And the problem is, what was the box on that after that play? I don't know if y'all saw it or not. It's kind of crazy. It was 3rd down, right? So they went from 1st down to 3rd down because they did what? Like we talked about earlier. Flip the box because there's a long conversation, right? Flip the box. They lost the down. Replay didn't fix them, etc. All right. 3rd and 8. So when can we fix the down? Second live ball, right? So we get foul. holding, lots of flags. 3rd and 8. So when we got hats. So we're gonna have a lengthy conversation, right? And when we have lengthy conversations, we can forget what the down is, and we can forget some stuff, right? So they're gonna have a very lengthy conversation. And it was 3rd and 8. So if any of these are live ball fouls and they don't include a loss of down, then after enforcement, what down should it be? 3rd down. If all of these were dead ball fouls, then after enforcement, it would be what? 4th down. We have a holding, so that's a live ball foul, right? Reverend and Basher, that's a live ball foul. So they're going to offset. So it's going to be what? 3rd down. Now we get some personal fouls, right? And all sorts of stuff. But it should be what? 3rd down. So why is okay, so TV's got it 3rd down. So all the dead ball fouls offset. The live ball fouls offset. So it should be 3rd and 8 from the previous spot. Why is the punt team on the field?
He's punting on 3rd down.
He wants to punt.
All right, so 4th and 21. So I guess they enforced one of the live ball fouls on A. Excuse me, dead ball fouls on A. Okay, we got a fair catch. But when can we fix this? Can we still fix this? Yeah, right. We can fix this. Before this. So we've had one live ball period after the error, but we haven't had the second one, right? So they bring the offense out, and then somebody from above calls down from the heavens and says, guys, you might want to think about this, because they can fix this. All right. So they punted on what down? 3rd down. So if we fix this, what do we do? Go back, right? That punt never happened, right? We go back. And that's why we have 2 clips, right? That's why we have 2 clips, because that second clip is going to allow us to do what? Reset the chains, all right?
Clock down.
Don't adjust the clock.
They punted 10 seconds.
They punted. No, you do not go back and adjust it.
You go back, you hit, or you go back and.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah, you don't. You don't get the time back. No, you don't get the time back. Yep. That concludes part 1. Any questions, comments?